family. And the idea here is that we're trying to debunk that myth, Jack, that that friends and family make the best hires to fill voids and experience. And it's one of those things that you can see it, and trust is a big deal when it comes to small business. And it's often a hassle to try to go find good people. So if you look at your friends and family, often those are folks that you trust a lot. And so to bring them into the business, they're folks that you can lean on and often abdicate things to. You throw things their way and assume that they're going to do the best, and you can fully trust them. So often people will bring in friends and family as those first hires, or they'll use them to fill voids in the company. We've seen that a lot.
Well, they fill voids, and well, my take, Adam, and you know me better than most people here. That is so not true. What is so not true? Bringing in friends and family. It always sounds good. That's why it's done. People starting a business or have a business, they get frustrated. That's the natural ebb and flow of it. And by God, I'm going to bring in my cousin. He's this. He has these skills. Now, sometimes it can work, but usually it doesn't. Again, that's my experience, and I think if I were to dig deep and Google it, I'd probably find a lot of evidence that supports the fact that business doesn't not necessarily thrive with friends and family.
One of the fun things that Jack and I always have fun with. It's a great test of our relationship with our clients. Quite often they'll want to bring their spouses in. I mean, we've had a couple of these happen, just recently. We actually had one just happen last week that you missed, Jack. Where here's a newer client of ours who's bringing in his wife to take care, and it's often taking care of the administrative stuff, right? And I know it well from my parents having done it for almost 40 years. Where that was my mom's duties. She took care of the books and was very trusted. My dad was fine doing that. So quite often you'll see the spouse come in to handle a lot of those things, handling the money part of things, right? Whether they're quite qualified for it or not, they're certainly trusted.
For the most part, or at least they hope they are, and they usually are. I think that's true.
So we always had a discussion, and we're always very upfront with them. We said, look, we strongly caution you against that and advise against it because you're not objective. It's your spouse.
Sure, one of the biggest reasons you can't escape them. So Thanksgiving dinner, if you had a battle the night before or some issues going on in the company, it just trails you around, like a bad cold. I mean, you just can't get rid of it. And it seems like the problems are often more talked about than the celebrations. We have to often tell our clients to celebrate. It's amazing how the problem-solving mode, which makes sense when you start to dissect it, just sort of takes over the mentality. I was reading a blogger, a guy named Adam Callahan.
It's a great name.
It is, I know. That's what I thought too. That's why I decided to read him on.
Good, all right.
But he talks about blogs, or not blogs, but bringing family and friends into a business generally doesn't work for several reasons. One is the emotion. Often, your friends and family are used to you in a different way. They deal with you in a different way. So when you give them criticism about the business, they take it personally. And that doesn't work out too well. That starts to create a crack right away. And they being the friends and family, have expectations that are different. They know you in a different way. And all of a sudden you're the boss, you're the owner of the company. Well, they're still thinking of you, especially if it's an older relative or an older friend, as little Adam, I mean, he hasn't grown up yet.
Yeah, or you're that buddy who was at the party and you have all these kind of drinking stories, something that kind of happened. They're thinking about you in that term or that context, which is not necessarily what you're looking for the day-to-day business side of things, right?
That's right. And family members generally know way more about the business than they should, because it's always being talked about. They can see other family members getting PO'd because of issues, and often that can spill over to the reputation of the company too.
I think one of the points you're making here, Jack, those 3 points you're touching on, to me, is the highlight of leaving personal stuff at the door. I think that's what you're talking about. It's very difficult to do if you aren't thinking about it.
Oh, wait a minute, thinking about it. We talked about that the other day. It's one of those,
leave
the personal stuff at the door.
Right.
Switch that off, even though you've had a bloody argument the night before. Switch it off. It's Thanksgiving after all.
Right.
You should be celebrating. Can't do it.
Well, a big part of the reason for that too is assuming you do have non-family or friends in the company, you have to be aware of just how divisive that can be. It's very difficult where all of a sudden, even if it's not the case, the perception will be that the sibling, the spouse, the cousin, the parent, whoever it might be, or the best buddy, is going to be getting specialized treatment.
That's
And they are going to be
right.
held. They are going to be held accountable, or they can approach the boss in ways that somebody else can't. Just coming in and shooting the breeze with the boss, something that most people can't do. But if you have that relationship, that somebody else can't do that. So you have to be very aware of that stuff. And so a lot of it's more
Even if-
subtle. And even if it's unattended, it's being
Yeah,
perceived that
even
way.
if you're aware, that's right. Even if you're aware, what can you do about it? If I've known you for 15 years, and you come in, we've shared a lot of experiences in 15 years, and everyone else is going to be on the outside looking in.
Well, so we always counsel is that if you're going to bring that person in, and we have our the duties or the skills laid out, that family or friend has to be way above everybody else. So it's no doubt that this person is more than qualified, better than anybody else you could find out there, and so you're willing to put up with those other potential downfalls of it. But it's rarely the case. Usually it's, hey, it's somebody who I trust and their skills aren't necessarily matched up with what's needed, or nor are they necessarily the best person to have in that role.
That's right. Very